Good afternoon, my name is Serrano. Today I will be instructing you on how to find an unknown point on a map or on the ground by using intersections. Today's conditions, you are a member of a team and have to determine the distance between 2 points on a 1 to 50,000 scale map. Some iterations of this task should be performed in Mach 4, but don't worry, it will not be necessary for today's training. Be mindful that at the end of my class, you will have to complete an assessment. The standard for that assessment is to determine grid coordinates of the unknown point within 100 meters and include the 2-letter 100,000 meter square identifier of the map using either the map and compass method or the straight edge method. So the tools we're going to use today are going to be EarPro, iPro, map, protractor, and compass, and a pencil. So we're going to start off by opening our map. And laying it on a flat surface. The first thing you always want to do when you get a map is to orient yourself, and for that you need your compass. You always want to inspect your compass before you use it to make sure you get a correct reading. Make sure it opens all the way up. Make sure it has a straight bar. But when you're using the cheek to compass method, that's one of the 2 methods to hold the compass. The other is the center hold method. For today's training, I will be using the center hold because I think it is easier and faster to find the unknown point. So before that, we're going to orient ourselves. So you're going to get it in the center hold. Point directly north and turn your map in the direction where your compass is pointing north. And an easier way to do that is to set the straight edge on the compass on the vertical lines of the map from north to south. And that way the reading will be more exact by orienting your map. So in today's lesson, we are going to be on the south end of Low Army Heliport, and our 2 known points are going to be yourself and Macedonia Water Tower to the west. So what you're going to want to do is plot your points, your known points, on the map. The next step is you're going to want to open up your compass. And the unknown point for today is the Huey statue north of Low Army Heliport. So I'm going to look at the Huey statue, look at my compass on the center hold. I'm going to point my azimuth. I get about 4 degrees. So I write down those 4 degrees. Now, when you shoot your azimuth, you're always going to want to convert your magnetic azimuth, to your grid. And to do that, you have to go to the legend of the map. And at the bottom of the map, in the legend, it tells you to convert the magnetic azimuth to a grid azimuth. You subtract the GM angle. And for this specific map, the GM angle is 3.6 degrees. So we take that 4 degrees of the azimuth that I just shot to the Huey, and we subtract 3.6, and we get about 1 degree. So you write down the 1 degree because that's what you're going to use with your protractor to shoot your grid azimuth. So now with the protractor, there's a cross section of tick marks, and at the middle there's a point. You're going to want to place that center of the tick marks over your current position, which is south of the low tower. And you want to make sure that the vertical lines on those tick marks are parallel with the vertical lines on the map to make sure you have an accurate reading. So then you take that 1 degree with that we subtracted the 3.6 from the 4, and you want to mark that at the top of your protractor. So once you mark it, you use the straight edge. You can either use the paper for the straight edge or the protractor. I'm going to use the protractor because it's more solid. So once you get that, you're going to want to repeat those steps for the Macedonia water tower. So then you're going to be at the Macedonia water tower to my west. And then you're going to shoot an azimuth again to that unknown point. And the azimuth we get for that is about 52 degrees. So you're out right 52 degrees. And again, remember that the conversion rate is 3.6. So we subtract again 3.6 from the 52 degrees, and you get around 48 degrees. So you repeat the same steps. You place the cross marks, the center of the cross marks on your position, which is Macedonia water tower. Make sure the vertical line is parallel with the vertical line of the map. You're going to want to mark it at the 48 degrees. And you use the same straight edge to get you from the Macedonia water tower to the unknown point. So now you have the 2 intersecting points using the map and compass method. So now you have to find the grid for the unknown point. So to do that, you have to use the right scale, which is the 1 to 50,000 meter for the specific map that we have here. And you want to drag it first right, then up along the squares of the map. So you're going to take it right, then up, on there. So it's on there. So it's on the unknown point at this time. But beforehand, you want to make sure you have your grid square numbers before that. And our specific grid square numbers are 19 and 70. And once you're on your point, you can determine your additional numbers for the 8 grid coordinate. And that would be Fox Victor 1920 70 55. So that is all you need to do to find your unknown point using the map and compass method. Now we're going to use the straight edge method. So we're going to use the same 2 points, your current location south of Low Field and the Macedonia water tower to our west. Now it's a lot easier because you just need to draw a straight line from the 2 known points to the unknown point. So you take it, put 1 point of the straight edge on your current location, and you draw a straight line to the Huey, our unknown point. Then you move it to Macedonia water tower, and you draw a straight line to the Huey, our unknown point. So now we have those same intersecting points, and we're gonna get the same 8-digit grid coordinate for our unknown location. We have now found our unknown location by 2 different methods, which is the straight edge method and the compass and map method. So now we're gonna do a little quick check on learning. So what are the 2 methods that we could, the 2 methods for intersection there are to find a point on the map? Sergeant Specialist Nunez?
These are compass and map method and the straight edge method.
That's correct. Another check on learning question is, what do you want to do with your map when you first get it, before you plot anything?
You want to orientate yourself on the map.
That's correct. So at this time, we're going to have Specialist Nunez come up so he could take his assessment. No. Okay, so at this time, you're going to want to find the grid coordinates down. So the standard again is to determine the grid coordinates of the unknown point within 100 meters. Include the 2-letter 100,000 meter square identifier using either the map and compass method or the straight edge method. So you're gonna do the straight edge method? Okay, so here is your unknown point. Let's go ahead and begin. Let me know if you have any questions. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm done.
What'd you get?
Alright, Echo Victor 19207055.
That looks good. Good job, Scott. Okay, so now that everybody has taken their assessment, I have determined that we started off with 10 students, 9 had goes, 1 had no go. At this time, I will determine the task proficiency for this training. I would determine it proficient because we did have the majority of my students get goes, but 1 had a no-go. So I can't honestly give it a trained. So at this time, we're going to review the risk assessment. So for the risk assessment, it was slipping, use caution for bugs, staying hydrated for heat injuries. Did anybody have any issues? No issues. So the risk assessment was good. Okay, so at this time, I'm gonna conduct an AAR. So what was supposed to happen is I was supposed to show you 2 methods to find an unknown point on the map or on the ground using intersection. Those 2 methods being the straight edge method and the map and compass method. What happened? Okay, that's what happened. Any sustains? Okay, so good volume, good setting, enough space for everybody to do their work on. Good sustains. Any improvements? Okay, for an improvement was actually going to low field to see our known and unknown points. The reason we didn't do that was for noise abatement. There's always aircraft flying around where you wouldn't be able to hear me as well. Okay, at this time, I'm going to pick up all my equipment. Always stay accountable of all your equipment. Close the compass, put it back in the case. Okay, your paper, your pens, your pencil, eye pro, ear pro, your map, your protractor. Always stay accountable of your items. So at this time, we're going to conduct a final inspection. Look around you, look up for any FOD, for any empty water bottles, all your equipment. Make sure you have all your maps, compasses, your pencils, all your equipment. We don't want to leave a mess for the next group training. Sergeant Newman, today I had 10 assigned soldiers, 9 had goes, 1 had a no-go. For that no-go soldier, we already discussed that I will be meeting with him next Tuesday at 1500 at the company for retraining and reassessment. Dismissed.